Hey everybody, Greg here with a book review. Well, a novella review. Well, a serialized novella review. Well, the first 6 chapters of a book review. Well, a review of 41 pages of something I'm not really sure what to call this. This is Cargo 3120 Ties That Bind Part 1 by Aaron Walker Sr. Technically, yeah, I guess you could consider this a miscellaneous book, but this marks the first time an author sent me a free review copy of their own work, so it doesn't feel right to put this under the Breaking Spines umbrella. Breaking Spines is more about discovering forgotten old paperbacks at thrift stores, not being gifted the latest science fiction stories to my Kindle. Consider this kind of a one-off for the time being. Should review copies start becoming a regular thing in my life, I'll come up with some kind of show name for this video to retroactively be part of. That's probably not going to happen though, because this isn't going to be a positive review. Cargo 3120 is, well, not good. So it's space, it's the future, and a group of mercenaries are tasked with stealing some space ore from a mining facility on one of Saturn's moons. The team, known as Raven Squad, is led by Marcus Ledeck, a wanted outlaw who is wanted and an outlaw. He's really good at shooting things. What looks like a routine operation takes a turn when a member of the team, Darren West, gets greedy and tries to steal some valuable processed materials. These turn out to be booby-trapped, and a wave of space cops descend upon them. The team gets away with the goods, but not before Marcus is captured, and, well, that's it. It's kind of hard not to entirely spoil something that's only 41 pages long, but based on the descriptions I found, this whole thing is just a prologue to the real story, set a decade after these events. So it's not like this is actually indicating what the larger story of Cargo 3120 is even about. It's kind of an Indiana Jones opening, an adventure probably unrelated to the main plot, something to introduce the readers to some of the main characters, introduce the world, set the tone, and show off the kind of action and adventure you can expect from the main course. So, characters. Raven Squad consists of half of a dozen specialists who are all the best in their respective fields. You have the pilot, the hacker, the demolitions expert, the weapons specialist, the smooth talker, and the leader. The story spends plenty of time telling us that these guys are highly trained and ridiculously talented, but then skimps on detail when it comes time for these professionals to do the very thing they're the best at. We're told that Darren is great at spinning lies, but when it comes time for Darren to talk his way past some guards, we skip over most of it. And a few lines we do get to hear aren't exactly impressive. We're told that Marcus is a master of several forms of martial arts, but when it comes time for him to beat some guys up, he delivers a barrage of punches. That's it. I'm not saying they should have written out a blow-by-blow choreography, but maybe replace barrage of punches with something a little more specific and flashy, like he judo chopped him in the neck, or he swept the leg. You don't really have to stress the word count that much to tie these actions back to a character's stated abilities. I've been bringing show don't tell a lot on my channel these days, and I really need to find some counterexamples where telling is an okay thing to do in a story, but something that should be as fun and exciting as a science fiction heist story is not the time to be favoring telling over showing. Beyond being the best, there really isn't much to these characters. They're all pretty void of personality or even physical description. Saying that your lady hacker is as beautiful as she was smart means nothing, since you don't know what the author's standards of beauty are. Saying that the alien cyborg weapon specialist is similar in appearance to the humans means nothing if you don't know in what way he's not similar in appearance. Saying the demolitions expert has a southern drawl almost makes her feel like an outlier. Marcus is the main character here. He gets the most to do. He's the highest profile out of this group. And we don't even find out he's black until chapter 4. I think maybe the idea is to learn more about these characters through the official Cargo 3120 website. It looks like they're trying to make this into some kind of multimedia franchise. But that's not an excuse to cut descriptions out of the central product. You can't assume people are going to check out the postage stamp sized concept art to know what a Gorian cyborg looks like. Home of the greatest free sci-fi book series. Guys, you have 6 chapters. Relax. These 6 characters barely interact with each other, and when they do, there isn't much in the way of banter. And isn't that like the most fun thing about a heist story? Getting a bunch of talented weirdos together and see them bounce off each other? I mean, imagine Ocean's 11, only everyone's a soulless robot. And you don't actually see them do their thing. They just describe what happened in the fewest details possible. The only real connection these characters have is that everyone loves Marcus. I get that he's the main character, but the story here really wants you to know he's the main character. In the big shootout at the end, the Space Police have the opportunity to capture the entire Raven Squad, but instead opts to let everyone else escape with valuable space ore because Marcus is on top of the Space FBI's most wanted in space list. And when Marcus does get captured, the Raven Squad has to stop in their tracks. They're utterly gutted, even though at this point they're on the run and should be overflowing with adrenaline. Save the emotions for when you're safe. The 2 women of the group even start crying.
There's no crying! There's no crying in
Space heists. All the effort that could have gone into these characters instead goes into the world building. Man, Cargo 3120 never passes up an opportunity to world build. Everything from the local governments to Marcus's rain goggles get their own Wikipedia page worth of summary, sometimes at the expense of the action. A shootout with giant security robots gets interrupted with an entire paragraph detailing the design and history of the flippin' cargo crates this mining facility uses. You'll learn what they're made of, who manufactures them, their list of features, and the only thing they're doing is offering cover in this firefight. I trust that the metal boxes are bulletproof. My suspension of disbelief will not be shattered if I didn't know they were made by Galaxy Tektronics. Look, I totally get that there are people who eat this kind of thing up. People whose favorite part of Mass Effect is reading the codex. I'm not one of those kind of people. I enjoy a well-realized world, but I don't need to know the backstory of every piece of hardware the characters brush up against. Unlike Mass Effect though, there doesn't seem to be much of a central conceit for this sci-fi setting, a core idea from which everything else in the world spins off from. Mass Effect had the idea of several alien races retrofitting ancient tech from a long-dead ancient civilization. Everything else in the setting either builds on that or is a reaction to it. If the setting of Cargo 3120 has a central idea, these 6 chapters don't touch on it. For all the time it takes putting the story on hold to tell you about bipedal security robots, it doesn't really have much of a pitch. Which is sad because this whole thing is supposed to be a pitch. You don't throw around taglines like the greatest free sci-fi book series without telling me why I should be excited for this book that isn't even out yet. You need to make me love these characters. You need to make me excited to explore this universe. You need to have some kind of equivalent to Indiana Jones getting chased by a giant boulder. Something to make the readers go, whoa, cool, I want more of this. I hate being a negative Nelly. I really like liking things, but I don't want more of this. Not with these bland, lifeless characters, not with this lack of action, not with these detailed detours. Even if it means never getting a review copy of anything ever again, I cannot recommend Cargo 3120 Ties That Bind Part 1. If you're really curious, the first 4 chapters are available for free on their website, and from there you can make up your mind if you want to put down 99 cents for the remaining 2. Well, thank you for watching, and keep on downloading ebooks or something.